worst position for a long time in Jiu-Jitsu. So that's why I kind of hung on the idea of the master side for a long time. Because here's how the rule works. I think it works like this. If you're getting the back a lot, but they're escaping a lot, meaning you're getting a lot of backs, but you're losing the same amount as you're getting. So you're not finishing, you're losing the back control. You are way better to have them on the master side. Because if I'm going to lose him here, I can come up and still have his arm, I can go to kata gatame. So it is better, the master side is the good rule for when you're losing the back a lot. Which when you're starting out, you do. Right? So it's a great rule. The better you get at keeping the back, then there's some benefits to the other side. So I used to lose the back a lot. So, for a long time, I don't know, I'm going to make a number, 6 or 8 years. So I get the back a lot, I get it a lot, but I wasn't finishing a lot. I was getting it, but not finishing. And that's an interesting distinction to make, because you can have say, oh wow, I get the back all the time. Yeah, but are you finishing? Oh, no. Right? So, and you see that if you watch a lot of fights and competition and stuff, you see a lot of people get the back, but I don't know what it is, but it's a way, way smaller number that actually finish from there. So you need to know how to attack well, keep the back and finish. It's much harder than other positions, at least it was for me. So that's why I was on the master side for a long time, because I know I'd get the back, but I also know I'd lose it. And then I'd go to the knee right or the kata gatame actually, and I developed a good kata gatame because I was losing the back. So there's no such thing as a down thing, You lose the back, but you get something else, right? But it's just that I wasn't getting good at the back. So I'll show you now the things that I'm going to talk about today are things that made the difference for me. Wow, shit. Now I'm doing that, I'm not losing the back. Oh, wow, now that I'm doing that, I'm actually getting attacked, so I'm taking you through that process in a compressed time instead of 20 years. All right, so the thing is here, I can have Darren's back, right, and we'll go like this, and I've got him down here on the master side, like you had, and he's going to beat my hook by moving his leg backwards, that way, see, so my hook goes on the ground, and then puts his knee on top of my hook. Now, if he's beating my hook, he's beating my hook, sometimes you can still lift him up with the other one and then put it back in. But if he now beats my knee by putting his hip on the ground past my knee, you're not going to get the back. You're not going to get the back. Okay? The way you like these, you're not going to get the back and you like two. All right, so now from here, I'm going to tripod up on my head. Bring my right knee up to my elbow, and then bring him all the way to the other side. But the drama of bringing him to the other side like that is that now you have him on the... Now, a lot of people say this. You'll never catch me saying it. I doubt anyone's ever heard me say it, except for right now. So edit this out. You're taking him to the wrong side. In America, they often say the weak side. I don't like the term. I've never used the term because my coaches said, no, it's not strong or weak. It's just right hand over or right hand underside. So I renamed it master side and non-master side. That's my terminology, but it's just right hand over side or underside. They've never said weak or bad because it depends on who you are and what level you are, right? So one of the cool things is that that's one way you get the back. Okay, so you've got him on the side, he's getting away, he's beating your hook and beating your knee. So instead of trying to get him back, we're going to go to our head to the ground, tripod up, slide your right knee right up to your arm, and then take him all the way to the other side. Is that fair enough? It's going to be pretty simple to do. Okay. But it comes with things, right? It comes with caveats and stuff like that. So here's what I'm going to show you. One of the things about the, Hegel used to call this the circles, the top circle and the bottom circle. So if I close my circles, seatbelt grip, cross my feet, the simplest things I could do, that's going to be hard for him to get away.
Now there's a foot lock there, and you know, it is possible for him to foot lock me there, so he can put his foot on top of my foot, and then he lifts his hips up, right, and I could tap, but I'm not going to let him because I push my foot. So if he didn't do that or promise not to do it, that will be an effective way to keep him there, right? But it's a big danger for the foot lock. So there's other ways to close the circles, okay? So if I take him over here, by having both feet up on his hips like this, see, you had to do a little cut with my leg as I fell down. I've closed the circle down on the bottom, and I've closed the circle here, so it's more difficult for him to get away than if the circles are open. When the circle's open, or when, he used to say when you lose the seatbelt is when you lose the guy. So, and that's true. So when we take him to the non-master side, yeah, I want the left leg to come up to his hip. Now it's way harder for him to just get the leg on top, right? As opposed to if it's down there on his leg, he can do that easier, right? So we're up here. If you've got long legs and you're taller, you can do, you know, body triangles and stuff. That's another way to close the circle. So you can close the circle like that, but it comes at a price. You can close the circle, but some guys do it because when footlock, you're not allowed to do footlocks, they go, yay, right? But they're using the rules to save themselves. That's another way. Another way is just cross your feet like this, right? And control his hips. I've closed the circle, right? Another way is body triangle, a little bit better for the taller half of the class, right? So we'll just do this right now. Do you understand? And then if I did that, I'm in pretty good shape. But here's the other part. As long as you've got a seatbelt grip, you can't attack very well. Like you have to, at some point, undo one of the circles, meaning your seatbelt, to be able to choke him, and attack him. Does that make sense? So one of the weaknesses that we had, or I had in jiu-jitsu, was I become okay at holding them, as long as my circles didn't open. But then as soon as I open up my hands, that's when the guy would get away. So you're going to have to do this. Work the control with your left wrist against his shoulder and the right elbow against the shoulder. It's hard to see, but he can feel it. If he turns left or right, now I've got him trapped like that. As opposed to just relying on that, which is going to feel good, but the problem is when you let it go, you've got nothing. We've gone from having him to not having him to do the choke. Do you understand? So he needs to say you've got to be able to let go your hands and still control the guy. Whether they're shut or whether they're open, he shouldn't be able to feel the difference. Because then you're controlling him and you have to let your hands go to choke. So I'm going to get you to do this for 10 seconds. Okay? Then, the third thing, then we'll just do it because it's more advanced than normal, is we used to call this the patty cake. You know the game of the patty cake and whose hand goes on top? So if you retain the seatbelt grip, his hands go on top of mine. He wins the patty cake every single time. And now you may have ways to deal with that, but if his chin's up in the air, but he's winning the patty cake, I can't take advantage of the fact that his chin's in the air. If I'm winning the patty cake and his chin goes up, I choke him. So if you've lost the patty cake war, you're not attacking. If you've won the patty cake war, you're attacking. Make sense? But I know it's long-winded, but if you're going to win the patty cake war, right, you have to be also playing this. Because if you're not doing this and you just win patty cake war, you've lost the chest. So you have to be good at that before you can play the patty cake war, right? You see why there's so much trouble. So I want you to do all of that as we take him from this side over to the other side. I'm doing what? I'm closing the circle, doing the control on his shoulders, and winning the patty cake war. All of that. Okay? Let's just do that quickly, and then we can start the seminar.